end of week 14. Tomorrow's gonna be day 1 of week 15. I did not do my weigh in today. I threw my schedule way off. And right now, I honestly should be doing more of a meditation because I just did a martial arts workout. It really wasn't a whole lot. It was distracted because I took some indica and some melatonin because I'm gonna go to bed. I took it around 8:30 and then I started kind of exercising and heard the construction and went out to get some little video clips of that annoying stuff. Oh, I'm yawning, but I think they finished up around 9. So I basically did some martial arts, yeah, a little bit of, it was only like 17 minutes worth. It's jogged a couple lines and did a little basic stretches, but not much. And I did a couple of the basic form exercises for green to purple belt for Shotokan. So I've been trying to work on the beginning basic form. It is Soto-uke, MPUG, Urake, and Uchi. It's basically outside block, elbow strike, back fist strike. I think I mix up outside block and inside block. I think, yeah. So I need to look back into that. And then the other one, inside block, jabbing punch, reverse punch, which is Uchi Uke, Kizami Zuki, and Gyakuzuki. That is not what I was doing. That doesn't sound like the one I was trying to do. I was trying to do something that was not that. That's the one I kind of studied last night, and it wasn't. I thought I'd had it memorized. I knew there was something with an inside block, but I didn't remember the jabbing punch and reverse punch. We haven't really come across the Kizami Zuki. Not to my knowledge. Maybe it was in. Let me see. I don't think Kizamizuki. I don't remember Kizamizuki. Oh yeah, and then there was also the start of Ageuke. I got that one, so that's the one I started with. Is Ageuke, Gyakuzuki, Geran Barai. I started with that. But actually, I guess before that, I did all the katas. So I did Tai Kyoku Shodan, Heian Shodan, Heian Nidan, Heian Sandan. I could just tell I was so tired, like when I was doing them. So I had some wins today of things being on point, and I had some. I was trying too much new stuff. I didn't get to the capoeira like I wanted, but I'm actually before bed tonight. I'm not really gonna go online. I got like a message I'm gonna send. I'm gonna spend 2 minutes online messaging, and then I'm gonna basically study these movements. I don't know if I'll stand and study them, or if I'll just stay seated and study either the videos or the books. Because I'm a little bit not. I just, obviously I've got these supplements in my system. I'm not going to be functioning well, but I don't feel like I was functioning that well today. But some wins. I did do a little bit of exercising this night. I did do a little training, a little bit. It wasn't anything intensive, but I got some time in. I'll give myself that. But I threw myself off because I switched up my schedule today, and because it's Ramadan, and because I like all these traditions, even if they're not traditions I grew up with, but because I like to practice different traditions and different time frames of the year, regardless of whose calendar it is. I like to kind of dabble in different types of spiritual practices and things, and I know I don't like to talk about it too much, but I'd kind of consider doing some form of fasting from from sunrise to sunset. Last night, I thought it through. I initially thought I was gonna do fasting from food and water, and that changed into another kind of fasting where I was like, I don't really think, I need my energy to do stuff. I don't want to play with my energy that much. So let me not do food fasting and water fasting. Let me fast from just some other stuff that's kind of like a little bit of, I guess I would say things that are maybe not the best use of time, but they're still kind of like fun little tasks and things. So I was like, let me more so fast from those types of things. And I don't know. That it just threw me off all day, honestly. I started kind of strong in the morning, and I listened to this. I'm behind. It was Purim, the Jewish holiday. It was also Holi, the Indian holiday. It was. We had an eclipse the other day. Like, this week has been full of lunar things. And Ramadan's been going on for a while. We're about 2 weeks into that for those who are doing it. So it's kind of interesting to have all that going on. And so I was like, I like to kind of dabble in things. So that was kind of a goal today. Just for today. It was just going to be for today. It wasn't going to be like all the rest of Ramadan, or like I wasn't going to be like praying 5 times a day, or like, I thought about it and I was like, that sounds like a lot to try to just do all of a sudden. But I was like, I want to try it and see how it feels. Like, I could spare the day or the time or the energy if it ended up taking a turn. And it did take a turn. It didn't pan out so well. But I was listening to a little bit of the Megillah for Esther. It wasn't the reading of it. It was kind of like the traditional commentary lessons. But there's like 5 of them, and they're like, or 7 of them or something, and they're like really lengthy, like an hour long. Something in my mind told me that would be the best way to start my morning. So I listened to maybe 20-30 minutes of it, because I was like, I want to do like some kind of a prayer and do that in the morning before the sun comes up. And so I started listening to that, and it took me to maybe 7:30 a.m. or so, and then I kind of started dozing back off to sleep, because if you guys know me, usually around 6 something I'm trying to get up and have some C4 and start my morning. But today I thought it would be interesting to try not to have any caffeine, or if I have any, have it at noon. And that didn't work for me good at all. Because I just had no energy, and I got a little bit of stuff done today. But when I had the caffeine I ended up having caffeine around 11, ended up eating lunch around 11:30 because I'd had a light breakfast. And it just was not working for me this morning. So I ended up eating a third of those leftovers from yesterday. I've still got more of the birria plate, and then it was kind of a heavy lunch, and then I just honestly never got my energy back after lunch. I kind of had to force myself. Finally, around like 4 o'clock, I kind of got it together a little while to like finish what I needed. like what I kind of did today, I did a lot of video recording, so I was able to kind of spend a lot of the time, the wasted time with uploads, and there were like there's like a 3-part process of like uploading to my computer to take things off the phone. Well, first there's the recording, and then there's the uploading to the computer, and then there's the video that has to save, and then there's the upload onto YouTube. So I did a lot of that. They were like 3 phases, so I kind of mostly relaxed during all of that, and it took multiple hours. And did some eBay posts and stuff. I finally posted that up. I was like, I gotta get the money posted at least, but it took a lot of energy. It took energy that I didn't have where I should have had it. Maybe I didn't sleep that good last night. I was up a little late because I did record about Ramadan last night on another podcast. So I started talking about Purim and Ramadan, and I did a little lesson about places in the New Testament where they think maybe Jesus in John chapter 5 was celebrating Purim because during this AD whatever, there was like a 10-year span where it never fell on the Sabbath, where there was no holiday that fell on the Sabbath except for that one Purim. And so they estimated that that's the holiday he was celebrating in John chapter 5, and I kind of read like a bit of a, article on that, and read some of the Purim traditions, even though I think traditionally it would have been done on, Purim would have been Monday and Tuesday, would have been done on Wednesday, but I think in Jerusalem it celebrated, I read that it celebrated on, it still continues on Wednesday in Jerusalem only. So I'd pretty much missed the holiday anyways, because a lot of the holidays go sundown to sundown. So I would have missed it because by that time it was Wednesday night, like 10:30 p.m. So I recorded that right before bed, and then I just did some kind of other things a little bit. I don't think I went right to sleep. I think I did some meditating and stuff. I don't remember, but that's how I came up with this plan to try to alter my day. And I felt good about it last night, but once it came into play this morning, I was still cool with it this morning, but probably by 10 o'clock, I was less into it. By 11:30, I was like, this isn't working out for me. By about noon, 12:30, I was like, I don't know, guys. So I did take a really lengthy siesta time frame. Midday, I just could not get it together today. But that's also on me for messing with my schedule on a Wednesday. That's more of a weekend kind of thing. I'm not disappointed that I did it. I mean, I did do some stuff. I took the iron. I wasn't going to take it days in a row, but I did take it, so that's good. I did get a little training in. I did get some extra rest in. I relaxed longer. My throat is feeling a little bit sore right at the moment, though, and yeah. And the situation with some ladies, one of them, I think we're starting to make plans. The other one, I don't think she's so slow in the conversation that it's becoming not fun for me. I don't mind messaging people once a week or once every other week, but it's really hard to keep a motivating conversation with somebody like that. For me, I'm like, I don't want to I don't know, for me that's a little bit too slow. And I know we don't even live in the same place, but it's not motivating me to visit or anything. Because I'm like, I don't even know Like, she doesn't even seem to have time to really do much, or doesn't really talk much about what she does. She seems like way too busy to try to be catching up. So, like, I feel like I'm bothering her. So I'm just not. I'm just kind of, you know, I'm still keeping her pace with things, but I'm just kind of like, I don't really think I want to talk to her too much. She doesn't seem that into talking too much, and not even too much. She doesn't even seem that into talking a little bit. Well, she's talking a little bit, but like she's not. I don't know. It's really hard to figure out what's going on with that, and I don't really want to think about it that much, honestly. So I'm just not gonna think about it that much. If she gets back to me, she gets back to me. If she doesn't, whatever. You know, I've got someone else I'm kind of talking to that's kind of more the same vibe. At least it seems like, as far as like, say if I don't message them for like a couple days or like a week or half a week or something, and then they'll hit me up and be like, "Hey, what's up? What are you doing?" And they kind of seem okay to catch up about stuff that we've been talking about. Like, I kind of like that more. It's more engaging, and we're already tentatively making some plans for the month. So I'm like, I'm cool with that, you know. Um, I don't know. I don't know. And I'm trying to catch up with some of my classmates a little bit. But yeah, this portfolio is, I started getting in my head about it today too. Just thinking like, some stuff just isn't gonna work. I'm kind of realizing though, I do tend to kind of lean into things that might not be working, whereas there are some things that are working that I don't really lean into that. For example, I have a Shopify store account open that has like nothing posted on it. But that Shopify gets traffic because I post on podcasts and I post on YouTube. So the Shopify naturally just gets traffic by itself, like organic traffic. And I'm like over here trying to like post on a different Shopify that gets almost no organic traffic whatsoever. And it's like, it just doesn't make sense that I put the effort in other directions sometimes, and I don't really see it because I'm like not sitting thinking about it. So in a way, I'm feeling like maybe I need more days like today when I just kind of like let my brain just like unload and brainstorm longer. Because that wasn't the only thing that I got to brainstorm about. There were multiple other topics that, maybe it was good for me to just let my brain kind of unwind. But I do kind of have a sore throat, like I don't know if it's like a knot in my throat. It's almost like a stress thing, because it just started happening. So I think, I felt for about an hour, maybe an hour and a half now, that I need to just go to bed. I was waiting for the construction to die out. It stopped around 9. That's about when I stopped my workout, when I heard all these loud noises, and they were all yelling, like the workers yell and like talk and laugh and stuff, and I think they were ending their work. Hopefully they ended it for the night. And but yeah, they'd been out there for a while, and but yeah, I don't know if my weigh-in's gonna be that good in the morning, because I did eat a whole meatball sub. It wasn't a sub. It was like from an Italian deli, a pizza spot. It was like a pizza shop, but they have like deli food too. And so we we had that for dinner with salad. Well, that was actually for lunch, but I had it for dinner because I had the birria plate for lunch. But I put part of the birria, the rice. It has a little bit of beans, not much, and then like a spoonful of beans, maybe 2 spoons worth of beans. Not much beans. Not much rice either. Mostly meat, and then some onion, cilantro, lime, or lemon. What else? I blended up. My avocados are kind of getting old, so I blended up a bunch of them. I had to add a tad of water to be able to blend them, but I blended up probably like four of them and made like an avocado kind of just like a sauce. It doesn't have any seasoning or anything, but I still have it in a little container, and then I'm probably gonna do that more often. Honestly, just make my own guacamole. So I have that in a container, and then I'll eat the rest of the birria tomorrow for lunch probably. But I don't know if my stomach agrees with it. I did have to take some Pepto today. That was before the iron. I don't think you're supposed to take Pepto with iron though. But yeah, my throat hurts now. It's been kind of sore for like a little bit. I can't tell if it's stress or from like the garage. The garage messes with my sinuses a lot. I don't know if it's dust. I don't really know what's going on, but I really just don't feel normal, like a normal energy and mood. But I know why. I'm just like thrown off, and my energy's kind of thrown. I don't know if that's a sign to kind of lean into things more or not. There's a lot of stuff I'm doing in my days that's like new stuff. You know, like the posting that I'm doing, not these posts, but the video posts and the tech skills that I'm practicing for the videos and stuff. Like it's kind of a lot of like doing things like that, and it's taking time away from other stuff I need to do. But I'd kind of like to have some portfolio work to show. And I see that I've posted quite a lot. I haven't made them public videos yet, but there's probably like one of them's like a 5-part. There's already like the 5 parts from like 2011 or 2014 or something. I took it off my other YouTube channel. There's some other stuff on that old YouTube channel I might take off as well. And then actually I think I did take it off. I just haven't edited the videos. And then there's I don't know. The laptops I'm reselling. I've got 2 more. I finished one, did the videos, what I needed to fix and clean up and everything, and I've packaged it back up. It's ready. All it really needs to have is just to be taped shut and put a shipping label on it. That's all it really needs for right now. So it's ready. It's ready to go. And then yeah, I have 2 more to inspect and test however I can. I'm noticing I might need like a port tester. I don't really know. I'm gonna see when this apartment gig money comes in. That's probably gonna go to Shopify and some other stuff, and maybe a port tester. I might be able to get a port tester and then maybe just return it. I don't know. If I get a cheap one off Amazon, like their stuff doesn't last anyway, so it's pretty common to return things. And yeah, sometimes I do use the stuff. I'm like, if I test it out and it seems cheap and I don't like it, I'll take it back. I did that with a Halloween costume. I was like, I'm only gonna use this for like a few hours in one day, so I used it and then returned it. I'm still losing money on it. I'm still paying for the subscription. I'm still paying for maybe faster shipping sometimes, so I'm still losing money. Even if I don't keep something, I'm still losing some money on it. So there is money still coming out of my pocket. I watched some ninjutsu videos. There's a cool one that I've been wanting to find, but I cannot find it. Um, I don't know what it's under in my history. Um, it was basically, I think it was Russian. It was like filmed in Russia. Um, so it was basically like a demonstration of like two people at a time or like three people, and they were like doing some kind of like, I think they started out with the masks and these like the hand gestures. I think that was one of the things that got me kind of attracted to ninjutsu, was those like hand gestures and kind of like the secrecy of things. It just seems very interesting. And I was listening to this one content creator who talked about these like ancient scrolls, and basically it started sounding like either heightening your senses or being like really paranoid. I couldn't tell what, but it was talking about like carry rocks in your pockets in case somebody's in the bushes, or like I guess some guy wrote this whole scroll in Japanese, with these certain techniques because he was what was the reason? I can't remember the reason. Oh, it's because he was his family got into a feud with a different family. Or maybe it was all of his family, just two different branches of the family or something. I don't know. And then they got into a huge feud, and they kind of had to watch their backs. And so, like, well, he had to watch his back. So he's kind of like, I guess that's how the scroll developed. I don't even know what I'm talking about at this point, but basically, that's the kind of stuff I like to think about. I like my head to be full of like that kind of thing. I really like martial arts techniques and different kind of skills and like thinking. I was kind of talking to a friend about different things. We kind of talk a lot about social stuff, and I was kind of saying how I kind of like certain spiritual texts and scriptures from different cultures. Just if I like the topic, like I'm more likely to read something than I am to go to like a religious service. But I like social stuff, like that Muslim Facebook group. I kind of was into that, and then yeah, just like meeting with people like the Baha'i or other stuff like that. Like I don't think I like necessarily like religious services as much. I like watching them online, but I don't know if I like them as much. Um, and then yeah, but I like talking to people about stuff. I did start talking to someone who lives super far away, who I like talking to about religious things, but it's kind of like when it's somebody really new, I don't really like talking too much about stuff because people get easily heated and want to debate, and it's like kind of like I was talking about that stuff about John chapter 5. I probably wouldn't want to bring that up, even though it's something that is interesting to me. I'd be hesitant to be like, hey, I've been studying this concept, and then have somebody be all pissed about it. It's like, I'm all excited, I'm not trying to fight. I don't care if it's true or accurate or not. Like, that doesn't matter. Like, I just like the thought of, oh, there's this one culture's holiday that fell, like, at a certain time of the week during, and that was the only holiday it could have been, and, like, that kind of thing. I like kind of history and the math behind the history and stuff like that. But, alright, so let me study these things so I can go to bed. But, I've been enjoying studying some martial arts stuff before bed. It's kind of pleasant. Or doing it before bed. It keeps me from just like doom scrolling. Wednesday night, did I mention that? Wednesday night I ended up exercising longer. It looks like I did a total of an hour 51 minutes. I did an extra, it looks like I did 47 minutes in the morning, and then 62 minutes at night last night. So um, so that was nice. But yeah. And I don't know. I don't really have the energy to really talk too much about all the foods I've been eating and stuff, but I kind of talked about today's meals. And then at least a couple of them. I don't really know. I gotta figure out my meals for tomorrow too. But I don't know. I threw my day way off. It threw my energy way off to have all these like different things going on. And I guess I had like a plan that I thought was more clear than maybe it really was. It was pretty flexible too, and there's like no accountability. Like I wasn't really accountable to anything. But yeah, I don't know. I might try different stuff. I mean, we've got Friday night to Saturday night coming up. So if I'm not going out, I usually spend that time kind of doing different things that I wouldn't normally do in the weekday. I'm not usually working. I'm not usually doing much. I'm like reading random stuff, and a lot of times I try to kind of stay offline more. So if I can afford the time offline, I'll try to spend at least a daytime offline, like Saturday daytime, at least before lunch or something. But I'm debating. I might tune into the Muslim group because they do. It's Ramadan, so they're doing every week, every Saturday. They're doing a meet on Zoom, but I don't know if I really want to join or not. I'm kind of gonna wing it. Oh yeah, I'm pretty wiped though, even though I almost did nothing today. But I did do a lot of stuff, just not in the order I normally do it, and it threw my energy to have all this like randomness. It was just so much thinking, and like thinking it wore me out to just think so much about so many different things. But then if I looked at my planner the day before, like for Wednesday, I write my planner as I'm doing things. Sometimes I put things in there when I'm like, I gotta do this tomorrow, or just use it as a to-do list sometimes. But yeah, if I don't want to do that, I'll just write things as I'm doing them with like timestamps. Like I did this from like 10 to like 2:30 p.m. or something, and I'll put the little breaks I took in there. I filled up a whole day's worth of stuff yesterday. I think I did the same thing Monday. Like I've had a couple days where I'm like going in pretty heavy, and then there's a couple days where I'm like, Tuesday I hung out with friends, and then today, Thursday, I'm like, I tried to spice up my schedule a bit, and I don't think either one of those worked in my favor as far as like energy. But I did do a bunch of stuff off schedule this week. But I'm like, this is my first full week out of class. Like, I didn't really want to take a break. I took a break enough while I was being sick, and so I took Friday, Saturday, Sunday off pretty much. But I also know I am still technically, whatever was going on probably isn't fully 110% done. So I might need to kind of watch my energy a little more. Maybe this weekend I need to be a little careful. I don't want a cold to flare up or anything. But I guess today I wanted a bit of a change of pace, because yesterday, in all honesty, I felt really tense. Like I was experiencing and it was probably from the C4, but I was like, I do not want to have a day like that again. Like it's been a while since I felt just so agitated and irritable, and I was just so like that on Wednesday, and that's why I guess at night it felt a lot better to be like reading different stuff and relaxing. and like doing some meditating, and then when I was just doing a little martial arts training and like reading about stuff and like watching some videos about it, it was nice. It was pleasant. I had a pleasant time with it because I was like, I don't feel agitated anymore. Like, it was nice to kind of like get offline. Like, I'm doing a lot of new things, and it's really just my brain is like not handling it so well sometimes. It's just like a lot of thinking and problem solving. Like, the repairs I'm doing and things on like devices, that's already thinking and problem solving. And then add all the weird social media aspects to things, and then add all the like, creativity and like software and storage and transferring files and like saving things properly so I don't lose them, and trying to be organized with everything. It takes so much, it's so much work that I just, like, I don't want to quit doing it, but it would be nice just to focus on one part of it and not all of that. It's a lot of different moving parts, and I don't really want anyone else to help with it because I don't want to have to try to collaborate or coordinate anything with another person. But it's getting done, and I've got some accountability behind it because I told some of my classmates I'm working on the portfolio, and I told a cousin. So I'm like sending people little bits of stuff at a time, like not too much, but so that, they'll probably ask me about it later. But yeah, guys, I'm way behind on posting up for here. I keep uploading onto my computer and then just not posting. So we'll see when I post all this. I keep saying I'm gonna post it, and I haven't posted probably in like a week and a half. Unless I posted and I forgot. I may have forgotten. I don't remember. Alright, I'm gonna go to bed.